Hey, what's up guys? Level Up here at On Point Gaming. Today we're going to be doing another weapon review. This one is probably going to be my final BF3 video before the Battlefield 4 beta, which, for those of you that do not know, is on Tuesday. It is free, and you can get it on the 1st for Battlefield 3 Premium, Medal of Honor, Warfighter, Legendary Edition? I don't know, something ridiculous limited edition, or Battlefield 4 pre-orders. You also get a beta code. So, this is the M416, and the M416 is probably gonna be, well, not gonna be, it is my best assault rifle in the game. It's not my favorite gun in the game, but it is my best assault rifle in Battlefield 3. Just, I don't know, something about its rate of fire, its accuracy, something really agrees with me, and I don't see any reason to not use it if it really agrees with me like that. So how do the M416 stats stand up to, say, an M16A3, which is also arguably one of the best assault rifles in the game? Well, I can tell you this. All assault rifles, excluding special weapons that might fall under the DMR category, do 25 damage up close through about 8 meters, and then they drop off to 18.4 damage at 50 meters. You can bring this out to like 75 meters with a heavy barrel. You know, other various attachments would affect this, obviously, but we're just looking at base stats. Ammunition capacity is standard at 30 plus 1 rounds. It fires the 5.56 by 45 millimeter NATO round. Standard as well. Your reload times, and this gun has the absolute shortest reload time of any assault rifle in the short reload. It reloads in 1.75 seconds if you have a round in the chamber. This is 0.5 seconds, 0.05 seconds faster than the M16A3, so honestly you won't notice it unless you are looking at the stats, but it's still cool to have the gun that reloads the quickest. Your long reload time is slightly longer than the M16A3 at 2.5 seconds. Not really a big deal though. The rate of fire is 750 rounds per minute. Its muzzle velocity is 600 meters per second, and I believe that this increases with the heavy barrel, and its maximum range is 900 meters. This gun has an amazing first shot recoil multiplier of only 1.8x, which means that if you're going to use the gun on semi-auto or burst fire, bursting your auto fire, then this gun will be the best, one of the best guns for you to use, just because that first shot recoil multiplier can mess up a lot of guns in situations. So your recoil is 2.0 with the first shot of your burst or single fire, which is a little high, not too bad. But your recoil pattern is 0.26 up, 0.1 left, and 0.3 right. That means that with the foregrip, you can bring this bad boy down to 0.1 left and 0.2 on the right recoil. The only thing you're going to do is increase its base spread. Speaking of its base spread, or base accuracy, its base spread is 0.2, just like all other assault rifles. Various attachments will increase or decrease this. If you get a heavy barrel, it'll bring it back down to 0.2. If you have a foregrip also equipped, the bipod is sort of its own thing, but it only functions while deployed. The suppressor, I believe, increases your spread and takes your damage velocity, or your damage model down by about 20%. It's about a 20% loss. Your spread increase per round is 0.1, and your spread decrease per second is 15. What this means is that your spread is going to increase by 0.1 every round of continuous fire. So let's say that you hold your trigger down for 5 rounds straight. The M416 with a foregrip and a heavy barrel will go up to a spread of 0.7 on that last round. Not a big deal to worry about the foregrip. This is why it bothers me whenever big-time channels such as Level Cap and Natimio talk about how a foregrip can absolutely ruin a gun just because of that spread. Honestly, all that you have to do is counteract by using one less shot in your burst, or just simply shoot in shorter bursts all around, making yourself more accurate regardless of the gun that you're using. As for different sights and attachments to use, throughout the video I'm using various sights, but I think almost all the time I'm using a heavy barrel and a foregrip. You could equip a laser, theoretically, But in situations like that where I'm running across the street, suppressing the target so that Deathbringer can move across the street, the laser is going to give your position away and also make it more difficult for you to engage your enemies just because they're going to see you and immediately start moving around. Another thing to be avoided with this gun is much of a magnification. You can pull off an ACOG or an M145 sight, but I see people sometimes using the IRNV or perhaps the rifle 6x scope. I think that that is entirely unnecessary and should be avoided at all costs. So, this gun, just in-game, something about it makes it perform like no other gun. In close quarters, it's not going to hold up to guns like the F2000 and the AEK, and sometimes even the M16A3 will drop you in close quarters if your opponent is equally skilled. But I don't know, it's a beast in medium range, which should kind of fall into the category of the AUG A3, but also guns like the Scar L can just destroy in these ranges. But the 416, as far as flexibility from going to close quarters to medium range to long range, you're not going to find a better gun because it just functions well in nearly every situation that you get into. I've never really felt like there was something lacking with this gun. It's just, I don't know what it is about it, but it's never really left me short. I've either run out of ammo and died, which actually is a pretty common occurrence for me, or I just get into a situation where I forced a corner too quickly, or tried to push up a road too fast and too hard. Situations like that will get you killed with any particular gun, though. As far as tactics, you can basically play however you want. If you're going to play more of a defensive role, I'll say, though, you should probably consider using something like an M145 or an ACOG 4x sight, because those are going to let you get your longer range opponents dropped a bit more quickly. If you're playing as a very aggressive player, I would imagine that a red dot sight or a Cobra sight would be perfect for you. In some cases the holographic sight works, and that's my best sight on this particular gun, but the unrealistic nature of that sight in Battlefield means that you get a slight magnification that you don't really need on an assault rifle. I'm hoping that this got fixed in Battlefield 4. We, of course, don't know because we haven't had Synthic to test the damage out and everything, and I wouldn't expect the beta to have much of a different damage model or anything from the final release, as it is nearly the final build of the game. So, since you can play just about any role you want to, you can also think about this gun as the gymnast of assault rifles. It doesn't only practice one area, like long range, close range. It also practices in the rest of those ranges at the same time. It may not be as good at close and long range as it is at medium long range, but that doesn't really matter. You can also consider the fact that a suppressor would be a decent attachment to use. In fact, that is my prized loadout on this particular assault rifle, is the holographic sight, the foregrip, and the suppressor. I've always loved that loadout on this gun. I don't know why. I guess just because the foregrip and the suppressor at the same time take the recoil down to a point where I don't really notice it. And the fact that I love the M4A1 carbine, that's my favorite gun, the spread doesn't feel like that big of a deal to me. So that's about all that I have for you guys today. Don't expect any uploads till the Battlefield 4 beta. I'm Level Up here at On Point Gaming. Goodbye, guys.